I guess we should reward those who showed up on time by starting on time. So I'll just get to it. Hey guys, everybody, thank you for coming. Bear with me this first minute or two because I will be admitting people as they come in. I don't want to leave anybody in the waiting room. So I've got some peripheral vision going. But welcome to the Symmetry Financial Group Corporate Overview. My name is Mark Newbauer. I'm direct to Chris Cook, who is direct to Symmetry Financial Group. And I have the pleasure of hosting this with Geoffrey Miller, one of our esteemed agents, direct to Joe Martinez, who is one of my agents. And we're, the three of us are out here in Arizona. Joe couldn't make it tonight, but Jeff and I are thrilled to be presenting for you and just giving you a high-level overview of what Symmetry is all about, you know, what is working with our company all about, and what it can mean for you. So we'll keep it as high level as possible. We've got a big company with big opportunities. We'll try not to get too micro here. And here we go. Okay, just keep admitting people. Should have sold tickets for this thing. All right. Guys, so we're going to talk about who we are, you know, how we do, what we do, and how we go about finding our clients. We do this in very innovative ways. We're one of the fastest growing IMOs in the country. I believe we are the largest IMO in the country, and you'll see why. We have been ranked among the top 5,000 companies in the country by Entrepreneur Magazine. 2016, 2017, 2018, 19, and 20, and I anticipate we'll be ranked for years to come. Just because of the growth that we are experiencing. Hence this overview. We are in need of agents right now. Families are in need of help, and as much as we'd love to, because it's very lucrative, it's rewarding, all the same, there's more families than there are agents at this time. So thanks for being a part of this. Oh, there's Jared Gillum coming late to the party. No, just kidding. Guys, so who is Symmetry Financial Group? Symmetry was founded in October 2009 by Brandon Ellison, Casey Watkins, and Brian Pope. These guys are pretty amazing. They took all of their experience in the industry and kind of compiled all the things that agents found was wrong with the industry, decided to take a mantra of, hey, real work-life balance, hence the name Symmetry. And putting forth a business model that is pretty much unheard of in this industry. And we're thrilled to be a part of it. So this is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. Insurance is one of the most lucrative industries in the world. And it's because everybody likes that peace of mind. Most people need that peace of mind so that families aren't displaced. God forbid something happen. And I'll get into that a little more as we discuss what we do. We have recently taken our company with another company, Assuria, and combined into the parent brand Quility. So the more we proceed with our next 10 years here, we did celebrate our 10th year anniversary this year. As we continue to proceed, you're going to hear us refer to Quility more and more. And I'm still admitting people, guys, so don't think I'm scatterbrained. I'm just peripherally making sure everybody gets in here. Guys, what we do, we help families protect their largest asset, which is their ability to earn income. And this is how we do it, through a multitude of programs, products, policies, you name it. We protect people in case of death through life policies, accidental, mortgage protection, all kinds of great things there. Health, so we call these living benefit policies. You don't have to die to receive the benefit, if you will. And these are serious things, you know, cancer, heart attack, stroke. We can help people. Sometimes, as my good friend Steve Devine says, it's cost you more to live than it does to die. So hence some of these health policies coming in handy. And then we've got some excellent asset management and wealth strategies for people planning tax-free retirement, college savings, retirement savings, and all kinds of great things. We also have an innovative proprietary program called Debt-Free Life, which we'll get into a little bit later. And I believe, Geoffrey, I might have stolen your thunder. Geoffrey Miller, here he is. Everybody, Geoffrey, you can take it from here. I apologize. I think you're muted, Jeff.
Thank you. Yeah, I did that. That was my fault. Sorry about that,
Good.
Mark. I muted myself to cough and it wouldn't let me unmute myself. So to carry on from what Mark was, how do we do it? Our partnerships with over 30 rated insurance carriers. We work with the companies, Mutual of Omaha, National Life Group, America, all these large life insurance carriers out there with all A ratings that help support us and our customers. It's amazing the carriers that actually want to work with Symmetry because of what we do.
Yeah, that's right. Why don't you go ahead and take that next slide too, Jeff? I apologize.
Hey, no worries. Is there a need for our products? This kind of tells you right here, 119 million households in the U.S., 7 out of 10 households rely on 2 incomes. 53% of foreclosures are caused by death and disability. When I got into this industry, that was something I wasn't aware of, and it amazed me how many homes are actually foreclosed because of death and disability. 45% of Americans have nothing saved for retirement. The average funeral cost is about $10,000. What's it say? Americans 65 and over, 21% of married couples and 45% of singles rely on Social Security for more than 90% of their income. Just go into a Walmart and you'll see what the retired folks are having to do, work until 75, 80 years old and even older.
Yeah, that's right. And guys, how are we doing? This is, I love this chart because it just shows, if you know anything about companies and what it takes to grow a company, this is phenomenal and to some even unbelievable. But this company started in 2009, and you can see we had a whopping $300,000 in revenues that year. And slowly but surely, we've climbed the ladder to, again, being the largest IMO in the country with my gallery view in the way here. There we go, reporting at close to $123 million in annual submitted APV. APV stands for annual premium volume. That's the yearly amount that a family will pay for protection. So looking at $123 million in policy revenues reported last year, and definitely on track to beat that once we get 2020 reported as well. If you look at this, guys, this is a good snapshot of what we've done to protect people across the country. $398 million in total premium. We've protected over 300,000 families. That's 300,000 families that have that peace of mind, have that protection in place. And God forbid, unfortunately, many of those have suffered losses in their families. Fortunately, they've had the protection in place, and they didn't have to be displaced from their homes. They didn't have to figure out, what to do and how to take care of funeral expenses, keep the mortgage payment, the college loans, everything going all the while. And $30 billion in face amount totaling that coverage that we talked about. So capacity in future markets, guys, we've only, this little slice of the pie here, the one here that says 125 plus, that's a little bit of, we were only a couple of weeks away, but that's about where we're at for production for 2020. And if you look at the total capacity in the country, we're looking at over $2 billion in business that we can still capture. So you can see we are just getting started. We've got a great capture of the market to date, but so much more to cover. And this is why we do need more agents helping more families, because the families are out there looking for help. And who's going to help them? Could be you, right? If not, it's going to be probably Jeff Miller, Balzarn, Jordan, all these great people we've got on our team. And what's really wonderful about Symmetry is we've got a couple different tracks. Again, we're going to keep this high level, guys. But Symmetry recognizes that different people have different goals, different people have different needs, and we are not a one-size-fits-all company. We're a company that customizes a path for agents that are looking for a real career here and a real path to financial freedom and ownership of your time, right? Stop trading time for money. We do have an owner's track here in which you can build your own agency. manage and lead your own agents. We've got wow, I've got a real jumpy PowerPoint here is what I've got. Look at that. Producer track, if you just want to go out there and help families, you're not really of the mind to maybe build a team or lead a team or anything like that, but you love helping families, you know how important that is. We've got an excellent producer track. And we've also got a combo of this in which you can go out in the field, help families, build an agency all the while, and really work yourself into an impactful leadership position while earning a lucrative income for your family, helping those families looking for protection.
And then how do we find our clients? This is one of the things that excited me about Symmetry when I came over. Symmetry generates over 10,000 leads every week on average for us agents to go out and help other folks that need help with mortgage protection and protecting their family and their assets. It looks like over 3,000 new leads are added to inventory each week. Every state that you look at for leads, there's just so many leads there, and their leads are just put together so well. The way they market their products, it's definitely an amazing opportunity.
And Geoffrey, you've got, before I switch slides here, you've and we're going to whip right through this, guys, for those of you looking at this, but you know, Jeff, you come from a captive agency. You have experience in this industry before, and I've been down that road before too. And it's why I left in insurance early on as a means to supplement some of my other passions. Is I spent most of the time prospecting, you know, right? 80% of your time going through phone books, talking to family and friends, things like that. And I'd love if you have a few seconds to just speak on the difference between, you know, working with a Symmetry and just going out there and hitting the bricks as an agent. Somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. When I was with my captive agency that I owned, I spent probably 90% of my time in the sales side as far as marketing on the phone, trying to reach clients, and 10% actually selling. You know, and the money comes in when you make the sell. And with Symmetry, it's reverse to that. I probably spend about 20%, 15-20% of my time with the prospecting side, calling the customers, calling the leads, and spending 80% of my time on the sales. The beauty of that is we get paid for the sales, and that's
that's right.
So it really makes the time management great, because I can work literally half the hours that I did with my captive agency and make twice as much money.
That's right. And I'm not at liberty to share, you know, Jeff's income with the general public, but I can say it's only Wednesday and Jeff's already, because of the lead system we have here, but quite a few appointments and helped quite a few families, even just halfway through the week here, right up until this overview tonight. So
yes. That's not over yet.
Really awesome.
And then how do we find our clients? This goes back to the leads that they provide. They have leads for mortgage protection, debt-free life, final expenses. And they do those through various outlets. They have their own direct mail system. They do internet leads. And I've bought internet leads in the past with my captive agency. These are done so well that the closing ratio with my captive agency for internet leads was about 3%. The internet leads with Symmetry that they provide, because of their vetting system, at least my closing ratio has been well over 50% from the internet leads. So their leads by far, they really put the time and effort to get the best leads for us as agents.
Yeah, absolutely. And they just keep innovating. I mean, those internet leads are relatively new, and it's as a result of a lot of scrubbing, a lot of beta testing behind the scenes. And I imagine there's just going to be more and more streamlined activity to generate appointments for agents. Guys, and that leads right into our next topic. You know, how do we support our agents here at Symmetry? We do have a proprietary sales system. So it's not like you get licensed and we say, hey, go out there and help families. We have a definitive system in place. It is a metrics-based system. The numbers don't lie. And as Chris Cook says, you can't beat the numbers and the numbers can't beat you. So you can define your income truly here by following the system and using the metrics to decide, hey, how many appointments do I want to set this week? How many families do I want to meet? And how many families am I going to have to contact in order to satisfy that workflow? And you can design your your life and work around each other that way pretty successfully. We do have a proprietary CRM system, which makes it very easy to manage your incoming leads and your client base as you bring people on, and be able to reach out to them here and there and make sure, they're taken care of. And we have incredible training resources and support here. One of the things I really love at Symmetry is our focus on self-development and personal growth. I truly think that's understated in some of the overviews that we do, because success is all about mindset. Anyone who's experienced success, and not by accident, realizes that it was as part of a plan. As Tony Robbins says, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? We've got everything in place here that will set you up with the right mindset. We provide one-on-one mentorship. So you've got access to your mentors day in and day out, week after week. We've got weekly training calls from, agents that started out just like me and Jeff from day one and worked their way up to 6-7 figure incomes, and some of them 7-8 figure agencies. It's pretty amazing. I might have overestimated my zeros, but I know 7-figure agencies for certain. And it's really, really cool. Now, because of COVID-19, most of our events have become virtual, but we have incredible access to association here, which is also a key factor to success, right? We are the 5 people we hang around the most. And Symmetry gives us the opportunity. What I love as an entrepreneur, even outside the insurance industry, is the ability to be around all of these people that have learned, by failing forward, to truly succeed in life and in business and be able to balance that. Jeff, that's one of the most meaningful things to me, has been that ability to associate with people and learn from people that have been there, done that, and willing to really pour themselves out into us, and not just, throw us the right roadmap and say, hey, good luck, right?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
Ton of support. Just checking my slides so I don't run you over again. Or did I? No, I didn't.
Nope, you're good.
Thank you.
This is still you.
Guys, we have industry-leading technology tools, and we are definitely ahead of the game here. I kid you not, some of our biggest competitors, and by biggest, I just mean those that are, close to Symmetry in scope. They, when COVID happened, and this is just a general statement, we've got all kinds of things, guys. We've got power dialers. We've got a virtual mentor that'll help you decide, what to help people with. You meet somebody that's diabetic or epileptic or high blood pressure. They had cancer 5 years ago. There are so many variables in this industry. You don't have to sweat it. We've got tools that help you in addition to the mentorship that you get here, in order to help people with the best thing possible. But just as a testament to our industry leading tech, when COVID-19 hit and they started ordering people to stay home, and you couldn't leave your home, you couldn't meet in people's home. Guys, our bread and butter, what Jeff and I and everybody else were doing prior to the pandemic was we were sitting at the kitchen table face to face, and we were helping people in their homes. And of course, we couldn't do that when COVID hit. A lot of agencies really had the carpet pulled out from under them when that happened. And the higher ups at Symmetry took note of it immediately. And I'm not exaggerating. It was within days, not more than a week, within days, that on a dime, they had video training, we had national calls, we had new scripts, we had everything set up so that we could meet people via Zoom and via video and help families that way, without skipping a beat. Our agents were in the field making just as much, if not more, because it's that much easier to set more appointments when you don't have to be driving, right, from Mesa to Queen Creek to Phoenix proper and all these other places. So just an amazing opportunity. And those of us that are licensed in, multiple states, if there's no one to help in Arizona today, I'll go help somebody in Florida, Hawaii, Indiana, you name it. Very, very expansive opportunity as a result, something good that came out of something bad there. Thank you. How do we support our agents? Guys, you'll hear QMS a lot, Quality Member Services. QMS is a phenomenal initiative that Symmetry put together for us agents. And it basically takes the business that you create once and multiplies it time and time again. So we have things in place in which we've got a your own back office supported. It's the QMS system. They will take your client base, they'll check up on them, annual checkups, they'll make sure there's no gaps in coverage if something's about to get canceled. They do outreach to those clients, and any piece of business that they secure in the background while you're doing God knows what else, you know, helping families, managing your business, playing with your kids, Quility's QMS is out there remarketing your clients. And anytime they're able to help your clients with additional services, you get paid. So really good example I remember from one of the last corporate overviews. Joe and Jordan and many others were down in Destin, Florida in a leadership summit. And Joe got a check, a direct deposit, and he had no clue what it was for. And it turned out it was as a result of this after they called around. And it's just pretty crazy to work for a company where, you know, if you put in the activity, you're going to be getting paid, and you might even have to say, what's this for? You know, what did I do here? And maybe you didn't do anything, but it was as a result of your initial work there. So we've got a lot of great things here, guys. I'm not going to go too much into this, but it is my favorite subject, and that's leadership development. Connect, we've got a special group for women leaders. We've got Thrive. We've got an agency owner academy. We've partnered with Giant, which is just an amazing leadership development platform. If you were to, you know, a lot of us that are entrepreneurs seeking growth, you know, you go and you look at these seminars put on by some of the greats throughout the country, and you're looking at a value here of thousands and thousands of dollars throughout the year that we get in leadership development and training, just for being a part of Symmetry. Thank you. I'm just learning how to talk today.
And then I get to talk about my favorite part. How do you get paid with Symmetry? This talks about the different promotion guidelines. As you can see, the starting agents with Symmetry start at 70%, which is up 10% from the increase they gave us here in August, because, excuse me, all the way up to 120% commission levels. Now, this is a broad overview. The next slide, we're going to get into more of the details and how you actually can earn some income here. So here's how you get paid. Let's say you're a part-time agent. You're going to be putting in about 15 to 20 hours per week. On average, you're going to place about 6 sales or applications per month. And you're starting commission contract level 70%. Our average annual premium for our policies nationwide is about $1,000. The carriers are actually going to give you 75% of that money you've earned up front. So a part-time agent, if they're having 6 applications at $1,000 each, or at $6,000, 70% commission, that's $4,200. You're going to get carrier advance, 75% of that, or $3,150. Remember, this is a part-time agent, okay? This is a lot of people's full-time income. And then you're going to get the back in the other 25% on months 10, 11, and 12, which is going to give you a total income of over $50,000 for first-year commissions. The upfront commissions would be $37,800. And remember, this is 15 to 20 hours a week on a part-time basis. Now, for those of you that are looking to be a full-time agent, which to me, full-time has always been 50 to 60 hours. So this is kind of part-time, but 30 to 35 hours a week on a part-time basis. Average agent is going to place 15 to 20 sales per month. By that time, you're going to have a increased contract. Instead of at 70%, you're most likely going to be up to 85%. That's the example they're using, just based on the commissions that they allow us to earn every 2 months. At $1,000 annual premium, 75% carrier advance. That is going to give you.
Sorry, I was looking for my drumsticks.
No, you're fine.
All right, there we go.
$15,000 a month at 85% commission, $12,750. Again, the carrier is going to get 75% advance pay. So that's over $9,000, $9,500 in advance pay with an annual income of $114,000. And after the second portion that you get, the other 25%, first full year compensation is $153,000. Now, there's not a lot of businesses or jobs out there that you can go and work 30 to 35 hours a week and make $150,000 a year, especially with no experience, no degree, willing to put the work and the effort in and follow our system.
Truly, truly. I've got a good friend that does this part-time. He's also a state representative, and you know, he said, I've seen so many industries, so many opportunities, so many businesses, and despite how, you know, how well kept he is in his other life, he manages his position with Symmetry and as an agent, because this is just probably one of the only opportunities available that's so plug and play, in which you don't have to get, you know, an 8-year degree in order to make, you know, this kind of money your first year, and no less on your own schedule. Right. It's hard work, guys. It definitely is. You know, we don't want to sugarcoat it. It's hard work, right? It takes activity. It takes a desire to grow. It takes a desire to change. What is your why? Are you doing this because you want a better life for your family? Whatever that is, you know, you keep that at the forefront of your mind, and you go out there and help other families, and you can make a tremendous income, impacting hundreds to thousands of people each and every day, especially as you grow an agency here, if that's your desire as well.
Right. Sorry.
Go ahead, Jeff.
And this income is just based on your efforts. It gets
right.
much bigger than that Mark's going to talk about, but this is just based on what you can do with your own efforts on a full-time basis.
That's right. And guys, I mean, Elijah Carujo is a great example. I mean, here's a full-time agent that, you know, did this monthly income that we see here last week because he decided he wanted to put in that much more activity. So, and I know there are others on our team here, but I bring Elijah out because he was named on our team #1 in the country. It's just phenomenal opportunity here. And you can reverse engineer your income. Guys, I will say real quick, and Jeff, by all means, let's do a little excerpt too, because I didn't do it at the beginning, but everybody on our team, guys, has come from so many different paths. I wish you could hear from each and every person here. You'll hear from a few after, but I've been part-time here from day one, and it's in balance with some other businesses that I'm very passionate about growing. And it's the reason that those other businesses have grown, because of the mindset development, because of the leadership training, and because of the association that we've got with so many great people here. So when I started at Symmetry 4 years ago, 2016, wrote my first policy in November, I was on hard times. You know, we were living pretty much check to check, you know, wondering when the next one would come. And as a serial entrepreneur, I definitely had the energy, I had the passion, but I didn't have the roadmap. And Symmetry was once put to me as a vehicle for those that have all the ingredients it takes for success, except that system, you know, the system. And if you follow this and realize that it's based on metrics and are willing to borrow that faith and put in the activity, I'm a testament to its effectiveness. I'm still doing this part-time alongside my other businesses. And because of the ability to build an agency here and to lead and manage other agents and help them grow their businesses and earn a passive income by doing that, I'm able to grow my other businesses exponentially in a way that I couldn't before. And that, again, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of focus. It takes some balance, but it can be done. It's also very simple as long as you follow the system. So I have truly, you know, feel like I've gone from zero to hero in the last 4 years, because that first year I just said, what do I do? You know, help me find something. And when I saw an ad in ZipRecruiter for insurance sales, I thought, please don't let this be it. All kidding aside, it's about the last thing I wanted to do. But in taking it on and realizing that it's not about selling insurance, it truly is about helping families and helping them get through some things that are difficult to talk about. And there's people screaming all over the place, hey, get this for that, and be able to clarify them to that in kind of a consultative role. It's very rewarding. And on top of that, the ability to build and lead a team and impact their lives the same way that my life has been impacted. It just means the world to me and my family. And that's why Jeff and I and everyone else are so passionate about sharing this opportunity, because of the changes that it's made in our life. And Jeff, I'd love to hear a little bit about you before we go into the next slide.
Yeah, absolutely. I did come from the industry. I've been in the industry for about 13 years. I was a captive agent for another company, owned that agency for a little over 10 years. I was looking for something with more income opportunity. I'll be honest, I had a six-figure income, so it wasn't like I wasn't doing well, but I wanted a better income, but really a better lifestyle for my family. I wanted something that I could build over a time frame, and create something that I knew would last with my family for years to come, and so that I wouldn't have to keep putting in 60 hours a week for the rest of my life to create that six-figure income. And you talked about this, Mark, just the people that were around in Symmetry is so much different than the captive agency. The books that they have us read, just the positive, motivating. The other company I work for is a great company, but there wasn't the leadership. There wasn't, what the book of the month. There wasn't the things like that to help us become better, to become better for our business and our families and the others that we help, because we're helping other people also with their families. And it's been a blessing to me and my family. And I kind of had to step into this on a full-time basis, because when I sold my agency, I walked away from a six-figure income. So I was a little bit different. I've been with Symmetry a little over a year, but it was about as part-time as you could get.
Yeah, that's right.
July, when my agency sold at the end of June, and then I went full-time. But I'm happy to say that it's working out well for me.
Yes, it is. And I'm so thankful to have you on our team and be in business with you. And guys, we will keep this on the clock. We're probably going to wrap this up in about another 5-10 minutes. Thank you kindly, Val, for the reminder. I did want to share some context though, so everybody realizes, we all come from very different places. Some of us part-time, some of us full, and even from very different industries. But ultimately, it's a system that's built for anyone and everyone willing to put in the work. What makes us different, guys? This is a very unique thing that we've got. We have an exclusive agency ownership program, which allows an agent to gain true contractual ownership of their book of business. And there are many, many stories throughout Symmetry. Some are kind of tragic, but with happier endings, in that we've lost some really good agents here, but because of this agency ownership program that other IMOs, other agencies do not have. Usually if you pass away, they'll divvy up your book of business to the rest of the company. This is willable, sellable, transferable. When you reach a certain contract here with Symmetry, they do sign that agency ownership agreement with you. And God forbid something happens to you, your family has that income. Your family has that income coming in. And, we had a gentleman when I first came on board, Steve Wilson, fell out of a tree stand hunting, broke his neck and died. His wife is still enjoying the benefits of his six-figure plus agency because he put in the work to get he put in the work to build an agency, and Symmetry has this amazing program in place which protected his family beyond the grave. So it's truly amazing what they do for us in that capacity. And guys, when you do build your own agency, this is what it looks like. We start out in a 70% contract, as Jeff went over here. Every 2 months, you have the opportunity to get a 5% raise. Where else can you do that? I remember working at the movie theater. We got like a 50-cent raise after the first year. That was fun back in the day. Guys, 5% every 2 months. So once and if you decide to become a builder here and build an agency, just like you would with a real estate office or anything else, you build basically a margin on new agents coming in. And as opposed to, some insurance companies, which will cap income and then you're making money off of your agents. The way that Symmetry's designed our platform is everybody gets paid what they earn, and the carriers pay us an override on that performance. So it's a phenomenal system that allows you to build an agency. It allows your agents to grow and thrive, and all the while the carriers are bonusing you for their performance. So here you look at this example. You have this agent who's worked herself up to a 95% contract. Let's call it an average of a 15% spread. It could be 10, 20, 30, 40%, depending on where you're at. But let's call it an average of 15% spread. This is what this can look like for your business. So that agent does $15,000 at the 95% contract. And let's say the rest of the agency, just across the agency, these other sales reps, here we've got 4 sales reps. They do a total of $35,000. So that agent has a 15% spread on that. Here's what that breaks down to, guys. So on your personal production, you're looking at $10,000 for the month that you earned on your own pen, going out there and helping families. All the while, your agents are out there and they're making their income for their family. But here's that override that the carriers are paying for us. These big carriers, Mutual of Omaha, Americo, Gerber, AIG, you name it. They've agreed to pay overrides to us for building an agency, because what these carriers are great at is designing programs and products. What they're not so great at is marketing their products and getting in front of families. That's why they value us so much, right? So they pay these overrides, and you can see that, right there, you're looking at an advanced commissions of $175,000 for the year. So you add all this up and you're looking at, that agent, just here's what they did on their own pen, right? They're just doing their job, but their agents are too, right? So total first year compensation there, $234,000. Again, where else can you do that? So I'm going to go on to there we go. And guys, it just starts getting crazier and crazier. So we like to joke and call these video game numbers, but they're very real. We've got a lot of agents throughout Symmetry doing this because of the way the founders have built this company. And we are on track. We are on track, guys, for a $1 to $5 billion valuation within the next 5 years. So a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. There has never been a better time to come on board with us. And it's funny, they said that to me when I came on, and I thought, what more could they do? It's pretty great. They just keep doing it. So once again, there's never been a better time because of the tools, resources, and technology that we've got in hand here. So guys, this is what I'm talking about. As you start building this and you start growing an agency, these numbers can get really, really big. This is not uncommon in our company. Industry-wide, it's a much higher attrition rate. Symmetry, because we've got that protection of mindset, association, and the contracts that we have uniquely put in place with these other carriers, this is the kind of compensation that's possible if that's what you want to go for. Almost you, Jeff? So
yeah, again, next slide, I think.
It just gets crazier and crazier, guys. And again, for sake of time, this is a highly scalable business. All right. You want to make a couple thousand a month. When I came here, I said, I just want to make a couple extra thousand a month. I had no idea that we'd be building an agency that, in October, we did over $80,000 in APV, just my agency. Again, 4 years ago, not even close. Wasn't even my desire at the time. Just wanted some extra income. But the infrastructure we have here, it builds leaders, it builds winners, it builds success.
And this is I'll go ahead and take this if you like.
Okay.
This is brand new for Symmetry. This just came out this year, just after the end of summer. They added these bonuses that I wish they would have had when I first started. But you can actually earn several fast track bonuses up to $12,500 and a trip for 2 to the 2021 Symmetry destination. Not sure, I think it's Costa Rica or something, but it's always super nice. But you can do a 30-day sprint, earn $1,000. You can do a 90-day hustle, doing production for a 90-day time frame, and earn the trip. There's carrier kickers. The carriers are going to give you up to $1,000 for hitting certain numbers, up to $4,000 total. Again, hat trick, 120 days. This doesn't really go into details, but really just doing what you're supposed to, going out there and working this business and helping people. And you can earn, again, an extra $12,500 and a trip to the Symmetry destination, which if without that, it's you have to do a lot of volume. So it's a great way for new agents to get involved. Agency perks, a free life policy, for your first year with Symmetry agents up to $250,000. That's amazing. The company I work before for 10 years, never gave me anything for free. So I was pretty excited about that. And the health policy that they just came out with, it's highly subsidized. I'm changing mine January 1st. It just came out, I think, late this year, just a few months ago. And I got the information from it, and I was blown away. How
it is off the chain.
Yeah.
It's easily half the cost of .gov.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't believe what we've come out with. This is for agents, guys, by the way. This isn't what we're offering families. This is what we're offering the agents.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've already got set up to start January 1st when mine is up. But yeah, it's half or even less, and the coverages are pretty amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So entrepreneurs celebrate.
Yep. Agent perks. This is the part I did love with my last carrier. I did win a lot of trips. Looking forward to win a lot of trips with these, with Symmetry and the carriers. The carriers provide trips. Symmetry provides a trip. They're all expenses paid. They're always, the carrier trips are always first class.
Yeah.
I mean,
amazing stuff.
You know, you go in, I mean, just everything's paid for, your drinks, your food, your excursions, everything. They just, you know, these are fun trips to take you and somebody with you.
Absolutely. So guys, who are we looking for? This is really, you know, important stuff to consider, please. And this is our last slide before we go into just a few minutes of stories from a few people here that are really impactful. But guys, who we're looking for people that listen, actively listen, take in the information from your mentor, be coachable, be a student. You know, that sounds cliche. I can't tell you the number of jobs I had through college where they're like, are you coachable? And you say, sure, I'm coachable, you know, and then they ask you to do something. Well, that's not the way I do it. So guys, you really take this stuff to heart, you know, be coachable. If you're here and if you're here for the reason that most of us came here, it's because you're still kind of finding your way or you're looking for a change. And we've got a system in place that proves success. So just be amenable to those changes you may have to make in your life in order to make it work, because growth comes from discomfort when it comes down to it. Work hard and intelligently, have hustle and humility. Ask how, what do I do next? You know, never be afraid to reach out. I tell my agents, if you're not bugging me every day, you're probably not bugging me enough, or rather, if you don't feel like you're bugging me, then you're not calling me enough. There goes that mouse again. So associate, plug into everything. Key to success here. If I were to hire somebody and they said, hey, I love this opportunity, but I'm not going to be on the conference calls, I can't make the meetings, I've heard it all, blah, blah, I wouldn't even hire you. I'd say good luck to the next leader that wants to take that on. And I say that with love and respect. It's because we're not ever going to ask you to do anything that violates your morals or your ethics. It's about tuning in, listening, learning, soaking up, and applying that to your business and everyday life, and you'll find the same success. So be willing to change and personally develop. Again, it's all about mindset. And if we want something different, we have to become different, right? So without further ado, guys, thank you so much for this. I want to introduce my mentor. Wow, this guy's amazing. I'm going to there, I just asked you to unmute. But I was brought on by Chris Cook. I remember meeting him in a room full of about a dozen people down in Indianapolis, Indiana, when I thought, when we did these live, right? This very thing that we're helping present, I attended 4 years ago in a room in Indianapolis, about 12 people, and asked Chris all kinds of questions and had my skepticisms and doubts and raised my hand a lot. And from that very day, I saw somebody who was willing to give what we feel embodies leadership here at Symmetry, and that's high challenge, high support. Chris will always put you to be at your very, very best. And if he sees you put in the activity to be your best, he will also support you to the highest level that he can. And we are very blessed to have him as our agency leader, direct to Symmetry. And it's my pleasure to introduce him. Chris, if you're there, you are unmuted. Take it away.
Hey, buddy. Cool. You got me loud and clear, man.
Yes, sir.
Cool. And you guys can see me too, right?
I'm going to spotlight your video.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Sorry. I'm on the old camera phone tonight. my computer. I thought I had it with me, but I left it at my office. So it is what it is. So y'all are having a weird view of me tonight, but I appreciate the introduction. But my name is Chris Cook, direct to Symmetry Financial Group, and just appreciate everybody being on the call tonight. I'm going to set my timer here, just make sure I don't go over time.
Don't make us feel bad now, Chris, with the time.
No. Hey, I'm going to be, you know me, I'm Johnny on the spot. So I'm going to make sure I get that done for you guys. But terrific job, Mark and Jeff. We really appreciate you guys and y'all's leadership. And, you know, this is such a tremendous opportunity. I started January 17th was my first day. 2014, me and my wife decided to join Symmetry Financial Group. We'd been a part of financial services for about 10 years prior with another company. And, you know, if you look at it, it's almost a competitor of Symmetry. But when we looked at the Symmetry model and we went to the corporate headquarters and we talked to the founders of the company, we just knew this was going to be our future. And, it excited us because one thing me and my wife, we always looked at was really any business endeavor that we were looking at to be a part of our family's future was we were looking for choices and freedom. That's two of the things. Like we wanted choices, and certainly money helps gives you choices because that way you can choose to do different things if you have enough money to do it. Because I don't know about any of you guys, but I grew up pretty poor, and we didn't have a lot of choices. It's like, hey, play with that stick over here. Or, hey, kick that can down the road over there. It was growing up in East Tennessee. I remember living in a trailer. I didn't have a lot of choices as far as going out and taking vacations and stuff. And we had two little boys. I had a 4-year-old, Reese Cook, and a 1-year-old when I started here, Noah Cook. And I just looked at them and I just knew, seeing my little boys, I was just like, I want a different life for them than I had. It's not that I hated my life growing up. I never knew I was poor. I guess it wasn't until years later I learned I was poor. But I just wanted a different life where they did have choices. Where, hey, if they want to go play down on the dirt road and all that, that's great. That's fine. No worries. But also if they wanted to go to London or they wanted to go to Scotland for the summer, we had that as a choice as a family. And, I'm happy to say over 6 years later, we have those choices now because we decided to come here, and I asked my wife tonight, I was like, what do you think I should say about our story? And she goes, just let them know that we were willing to do the work. Symmetry provided a platform for us, right? And Symmetry can provide a platform for any of you guys. You just got to be willing to do the work. They laid out, what do? We go out and help families in mortgage protection. We help families in life insurance or final expense. But one thing that me and my wife did when we first got here, we laid out a plan based on the Symmetry platform to not only me personally produce and create our now income, but also we were really passionate about building a business because we realized with building a business, we would have more choices. And everybody that's seen a video from Symmetry Financial will understand that one thing Symmetry talks about is having time and money. Well, I wanted to be able to coach the basketball team, coach the football team with my kids, because I didn't have any parents at any of my ball games growing up. And I just wanted that opportunity to do it while also making income for me and my family. And that's the beautiful part about Symmetry. It has been able to provide that. So we came here to build a business, and unique opportunity that Mark had mentioned about building an agency that it does provide me and my family. It provides a legacy for my kids. So if, when I pass away, because someday something's going to happen to me, when I pass away, my wife and kids, because we build an agency, we own that agency. Symmetry has a contractual agreement with us. And now that gets passed on to my wife. Something happens to me and my wife, gets passed on to my two little boys, goes into a trust fund until they turn the age of 18, and then they take over the business or the income that's provided from that. I just didn't think of a job that I could think of that I could go and provide that for my family. And so I'm just, hey, we put in the work, right? My background before that, I was working at CrossDock making $14.38 an hour. So it's not like I had some huge financial background that I, was some brilliant person with numbers or anything like that. I just knew I wanted to work hard for my family. 3 things that I was looking for. I was looking for unlimited potential. I was looking for no cold calling. That's where the leads came in. That was important to me. I didn't want to prospect. I knew I wasn't from sales, so I knew I couldn't sell anything to anything. And then number 3, I wanted to believe in what the company did for the families. Unique opportunity for me to be in this industry is because my dad passed away when I was 10 years old, and he had no life insurance. So that left us poor because he had owned a couple of businesses. So I'm very proud of the business that we're in because we protect that tragedy from happening to other families. So I'm extremely proud of that right there. And that's really something that we believed in. So it looks like my time is up, but I just want to brag about you guys, about the opportunity that is out there for each and every one of you. If I don't bounce my thing here, sorry, it's going off on me, but just understand the opportunity is tremendous for any of you if you want to take advantage of it. We've been completely blessed and honored being with all the people that are on this call tonight presenting to you guys. So appreciate you so much. Hey, I want to speak to this. This is really neat. I was doing this math before. DJ Robinson, brand new agent, Los Angeles, California. He started with us 2 months ago. In his first 2 months, if you're just wondering if this is possible for the new person, right? He's already written $55,000 in premium in the first 2 months. And today alone, on top of that, he's already submitted over $5,155 in premium. What would that mean to you if you're a brand new agent like DJ Robinson is? It means you'd have made over $2,000 today alone. So just want you to know the opportunity is still here. The opportunity is alive and well. And if this is for you part-time, full-time, anytime, just know we got the right people in place to get you trained and get you the right thing. So next up, guys, we got Mr. Val Zarn, and he's going to talk to you about where can you go.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. All right. My name's Val Zarn, direct to the one and only Chris and Lauren Cook, and very, very thankful to be so. And I'll say it time and time again, anytime I give them the opportunity. So thankful that you, Chris, thought enough of me to give me a call that day about 3 years ago. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I mean, I get almost emotional about it when I think about it because it was you thinking enough of me to say, hey, maybe that's a guy I want to work with. And the impact that it's had on me personally and my family has been absolutely profound. And when you called me, it was just like, hey, bud, what are you doing, man? What are you up to? You know, are you happy with what you're doing? Are you kind of open? I said, somewhat. But what you didn't know is that I was one of those vast, many, many people out there living a life of quiet desperation, making a decent income, but just barely paying my bills, you know, and what a difference it's made. And I'm so appreciative of that. So my topic is, where else can you go? And it's kind of funny because it reminds me of the Dr. Seuss book, like, oh, the places you will go. You know, I'm going to intertwine that a little bit here in just the next about 2.5 minutes or so. But, you know, where else can you go to create both time and money, right? So what Chris talked about is it's about money and choices, right? Where else can you go where you can literally make as much money as you want to? Right. Now, this doesn't happen every single day or every month or whatever, but last month there was an agent who wrote a $3 million annuity. Like, the crazy part is, on that one sale, right? That one sale made over $150,000 on one sale. Does it happen every day? No. Would you be pretty happy if it happened to you? I would, right? That would have a significant impact. So where else can you go where you have those possibilities, those opportunities? And the great thing is, we're not limited, like you said, Chris, early on. It's like, here's an application. How much does that cost? This is my inventory. Well, it doesn't cost anything, right? And how much do I get paid when I fill out one of those? Inventory costs $0, profitability like $500 per, right? So how many times can I do that? Well, you can literally do that as many times as you want. And we see people doing that 5 times, 10 times, 15 times a week. I mean, you do the math on that. It's pretty crazy. So as I said, where else can you go where you could literally make as much money as you choose to, where you can create $150,000 a year income or more with 30 to 35 hours a week with no prior experience, If you're willing to follow a proven system, we have agents, tons of agents that are doing that. And that's really just the beginning. That's what our full-timers make and beyond, right? We have some that are well beyond that. So where else can you go where you can work wherever, whenever you choose? I recently took a trip out to see my good close friends, Chris and Lauren Cook, and the awesome Jared and Jordan Gillum. and got to spend some time out there with them and several other people out there. And sorry I dropped names because I got to see a bunch of great people while I was out there. And what was super cool is normally when I do a business trip like that, to see Chris's office, to spend some time with him and Tina in the office, it would have to be a pretty quick turnaround, 2 or 3 days. But what I decided to do was extend that out to 6 days. And I got to see the Smoky Mountains, and I got to go to one of my favorite places in the country, and that's Nashville, Tennessee. Spend some time out there, right? So where else can you go where you can work wherever, whenever? So on those 6 days, I did work 3 of those days, and I wrote 3 policies while I was out there. So there's no interruption in income. And I got to have a great time with some really, truly, truly amazing people that I just adore. So it was just a unique opportunity to be able to do that. And to think that as long as you're licensed in the state where you're running business, you could be sitting anywhere. You could be sitting on a beach in Fiji or Hawaii or in the Bahamas or the Caribbean, making your phone calls. If you have reliable phone service and internet, you're in business, right? So that's an amazing thing here as far as opportunity with this new virtual sales. So where else can you go and do that and create that kind of income, have the time and resources to be able to do fun things with your family and spend time and allocate time and say, this is important, not have to fill out a request in triplicate to take time off, right? Like when I was with my old JOB, I had this concept of, just personal time off. Like they looked at me weird. What the heck is that? Like, you can't just request time off. If you don't have vacation days, you can't take it. I'm like, what are we even talking about here? Because I consider myself completely unemployable because it was the only real job I've ever had. So, I came back to Symmetry. I'm like, I'm home. Like, this is amazing. So, where else can you go to have that kind of opportunity to create as much as you want, have the time to actually spend it and enjoy it with the people that you love? And just again, Chris, thank you so much. So I have the amazing opportunity to introduce a very near and dear friend of mine, Jared Gillum. He's in this business, killing it, and making some huge waves as far as agency development. And he's going to share a few minutes with us. Jared, I'm going to kick it over to you, bud.
Appreciate it. Can you guys hear me? Awesome. Well, I'm Jared Gillum, like Val just said, direct to the wonderful Jordan Gillum, direct to Chris and Lauren Cook. Me and my wife have been here for about 4 years, and I just want to touch base on, why building is so important personally to me. So if it kind of rings a bell with you, I think that would be fantastic. So I just kind of wanted to start with that on touching base with a quick story. And with this story, this is why me and my wife kind of started the process of building and actually taking it seriously. So Ronnie and Christine Kate, we pull into their driveway to run an appointment. We get out, they're gardening in their front yard. We come up to go say hi to them, and they were like, why are you here? We called and canceled. And we're like, oh, so sorry. Like, didn't check our voicemail. We're kind of running crazy right now, but we're here, let's just see if you guys even need anything. So we're there, we figure out he has a large policy on himself, but it's gonna lapse in December. We're there in June. We put a small policy in place until that policy lapses and some income kind of frees up. So we tried to touch base with them back in January after that policy was going to lapse. Didn't hear anything from them. Tried to touch base with them in February. Didn't hear anything from them. March, we get a call. It's Christine. Ronnie passed away. She has no idea what to do next, right? I mean, she's just trying to keep everything kind of moving forward. She's kind of relying on us and on what to do next. She's trying to keep their home that they lived in for 27 years or whatever. And the policy that we put in place gave her 6 months of mortgage payments to where she could get back to work, regulate her finances, and keep the house that they had. And so she didn't lose her home on top of losing, her life partner there. Now, there's obviously more details to that story that we can go through, but to keep it short and get to the point, right then and there is when that was our first death claim that we had. And that was the first time that me and my wife looked at each other and we were like, we can't help enough people, just me and us, like me and her. We can't do it. Even if we split up, which we didn't, we were running together. But nonetheless, even if we split up, we still couldn't help enough people by ourselves. So we realized we wanted to make a difference in more people's lives. And to do that, we had to build. We had to bring more agents on. We had to lead from the front, show them how to be the right person for those families. So now building a business here is way more than just profit, right? It's seeing an agent helping a family, which in turn helps their own family. That pays way more dividends than $1 ever could. So now if you're only focused on the money here, it will only take you so far, right? So the money really is a byproduct of all of this. If you're focusing on the right things, adding value to people's lives every single day, to new agents, to families, whoever you're kind of speaking with, the financial security and freedom that this brings of building a business and what it's given my wife is huge. I mean, we were able to take our niece trick-or-treating when no one else could because they were all working, because we were in charge of our schedules, right? One of my best friends was on leave from the Army. I didn't see him in 3.5 years, 4 years. We were able to take an impromptu trip to Nashville and, I mean, just go spend time with them just because we could. We were in charge of our schedules, right? The financial freedom you get from building a business, honestly, in my opinion, comes in the payout of time rather than money. I mean, it's kind of a reoccurring theme of what you've been hearing. You have this time that it seems like no one else really has because everyone's kind of on this cookie cutter kind of schedule, and you can create your own, and it's pretty fluid in that kind of sense. Building that business solidifies all of that for you and kind of bulletproofs it. Now, if you've never had that feeling, let me just tell you, it's pretty amazing. Like Val just said, you know, that like personal time to just kind of take and go, like that's amazing to have. Now, don't let me paint this picture of like this walk in a park, right? Because it's not, right? Like, don't let me paint that for you. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. You're going to get uncomfortable, but I'm going to let you know a call we had earlier today was all about getting into that uncomfortable zone and growing from it. So if you're not growing, you're shrinking. And that was one thing that hit me a little hard earlier. So painting a picture of how that can like make a huge impact in your life, right? We had a call last Monday with a huge player within Symmetry. He and his family are going through a rough time. His mom was recently diagnosed with cancer. Now, instead of being in a position to not make any moves, he was in the position to be able to help his family and preserve that kind of time that his family had with his wife or with his mother right there. He was covering, from what I remember, when I think I remember, $12,000 a week in chemo treatments for his mother. He purchased a lake house for his entire family to stay under one roof, to always wake up, have coffee with his mom for, you know, what, weeks on end while she's going to chemo and everything like that. Now, when you think about something like that, you know, do you want to be in a position where something like that happens and you have no moves to make? Or do you want to be in a position to where you're able to preserve those memories, preserve that time, and you can create what most of the time for most people is a very hectic time of their life and make it very peaceful? Are you going to build something large enough to kind of bulletproof that time for you and your family? The choice is really yours. My choice is to build, and that's why I want to do it. I'm gonna kick it back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Jared. That was powerful testimony to building an agency. And again, the rewards are exponential there, guys. If, you know, we covered very high level here. If you've got questions, the next step is to talk to whoever invited you to this call. They would be your mentor. They will help guide you into the next steps. And again, that's just the best question you can ask here at any point. So if you are coming on board, if you're deciding to make the move, just call up your mentor and say, what's next? So your first assignment here, if this sounds like a good fit for you and you'd like to know more, or you're ready to move forward with a career path here and be a part of this amazing team of people, just talk to whoever invited you to this Zoom session and ask them what's next. All right. And I thank you guys. I hope to see a lot of you on our message board. We got an active chat room for agents that we all participate in and stay associated with each other throughout the country each and every day. And I just wish everybody a great evening. And again, hope to work with a lot of you here moving forward. Thank you so much. Jeff and I are pleased to have hosted this and are grateful for your presence. Have a great night.